Hello, people of YouTube. This is Kaz with UPPG. Gonna be doing my inaugural video here. Essentially, I want to do a history series, kind of using the Total War games to kind of just give a little context to different historical events and settings and battles and the like. So we're gonna just do a short video today. Nothing real big. Just kind of something of a prologue to a series that I'm gonna be doing. We're going to be doing a grand campaign, playing as Rome, of course. Going to go with the House of Julii, the house from which Julius Caesar hailed many years after the beginning of this campaign. Going to be doing very hard, and the initial challenge is easy, obviously, because Rome, by its nature, is going to expand quickly. Starting year 272 BC, so pretty early on. Game difficulty very hard, and good to go. I'm not going to talk during the loading screen because bandicam kind of has problems recording it, so I'll be back with you in a few. Alright, here we go. Don't need to listen to him. Okay, so our starting position obviously is the southern part of the Italian peninsula. The city of Rome lies here. When the city began, it was under Etruscan control, ruled by a series of Etruscan kings, and over time, the people of Rome grew dissatisfied with their rulers, so they, threw off the chains of oppression, and they became an independent city, Roma. Now, over time, they essentially waged a campaign to take over the Italian peninsula against the numerous tribes that were inhabiting this area. Now, the way it's displayed in this game is a little inaccurate. During the Republican era of Rome, a lot of these places weren't actually really considered Roman provinces. The areas you can see in red down here, they were kind of like affiliate tribes that fell under Rome's banner but remained independent. Now, that changed during the Imperial era, after the fall of the Republic and the rise of the Empire. Augustus kind of solidified his control over the different provinces, and they actually became official Roman provinces. And that has to do with the social wars and all that stuff, but that's much later on. Alright, so starting off here, we're going to try and just steamroll northern Italy, because we just want to get the Etruscans out of here. We don't want them to build up too much power. Don't want them to be pushing south, so that's going to be our first order of business. So let's march an agent up there, see what we got.
Swift and silent as a shadow.
Alright. Got one guy here. He's got nothing. So we're going to march our guy Julius Libo. We're going to march him up there and attack. Alright, so he's going to flee. Now, we could go right after Valathri. Please excuse any bastardization of any words that I commit here. It's, doing what I can. So, we can either attack the city, or we can go after the Thunderbolts of the Nine over here. Now, if we attack the city, that's good. It'll increase our territory, obviously, but it will allow this Etruscan army, for lack of a better word, to retreat to the east and build their forces. In addition, we have a kind of precarious situation here with public happiness. Now, down here it's a little more serious, so we're going to march Scipio. We're going to march Scipio up here. That'll help the situation a bit. And then we're going to build... I'm going to say food is the more important issue right now, so we're going to build up some food. We'll worry about public order in a little bit. We control a small territory, so it won't be terribly hard to put down any rebellions that we have, but we'll try and avoid that. So we're gonna worry about what's up here for now. If we take the city, it's gonna give us a hit on our happiness rating. So I'd much rather have the Etruscan threat dealt with before we begin taking territory. So I'm gonna go after this guy right here. Now, this battle, I mean, it would be kind of a waste of time to actually play it, because we're just gonna destroy him. So I'm just gonna auto-resolve here. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of exciting battles to come, but not quite yet. Kill him. I don't know, I always kill my captives, I just don't feel like really screwing around with that. So our spy is freed up now. The Etruscan threat has essentially been dealt with now in northern Italy. So it's really not going to be a problem to just take over these two territories. These guys over here, we're gonna have to build up a navy and kind of go take care of them. But all in good time. All in good time. For now, we're gonna march her up here, kind of see what's going on with these Gaulish tribes. Yeah, so at this time, obviously, the empire is very small. It hasn't yet conquered all of Gaul over here. It hasn't yet conquered Hispania, modern-day Spain, North Africa. We have Syracuse down here, which is a Greek colony, a Hellenistic colony. And then Carthage controls the other half of Syracuse, so that's going to be conflict waiting to happen. And they also control Carlisle down here. Alright, I got a navy here. I'm going to send these guys down the coast. Double time it. And I'm going to build my navy up a bit. Obviously, Rome being a Mediterranean power, you want to have a solid navy. You want to have something that can stop any invasion forces from reaching the mainland. So that's going to be a good call off the bat there. Now, you can see my public order rating dropped a little bit because I moved my forces out of the territory. So I'm going to go ahead and... The food situation's okay. We have 2 surplus, which, I mean, it's not amazing, but it's okay. I'm going to build a temple. Which will... Oh, and I'm going to upgrade this. Give them olive press, which will hopefully kind of alleviate the food and public order problem. Now, as you get a food surplus, it goes into, like, an empire storage. So, if I can build up enough food in one region, it'll kind of, you know, help the entire empire, which isn't that big at this point, really, the Republic, but... Okay. Let's check out technology. So we only have 2 choices here in the beginning. We can either go for supply reforms or land management. I'm going to go for supply. We're going to focus on the army for now. Diplomacy, not really much we can do. The RDI kind of like us, but I don't think they're going to want to trade with us. And I don't really, yeah, they're not going to want to trade. And I don't really have the money to offer. Athens never wants to trade in the beginning, but they like us. They're neutral at the very least. Massilia, I don't know how to pronounce that, Massilia. This is also a Greek province, so the Greeks spread out pretty far. I mean, Egypt at this point is very Hellenistic. You can thank Alexander the Great for that, essentially. He conquered all this territory well out into the Middle East. And then Africa, obviously, Alexandria is right around here. Okay. So not going to be able to do much in the way of diplomacy here this turn, but that's okay. We're still small. We don't really rely on foreign assets or foreign trade at this point, so not really a problem. Well, that's good. Alright. That should be good for this turn. Gonna end it here. Oh, got to assign a skill. Oh, I guess I could, do. I'll just do it next turn. Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm gonna try and just provoke the Civil War right away. Like, I'm gonna not try to balance the political parties at all. And I'm just gonna give all my power to the Julii and just kind of make that bid for the emperorship right off the bat. Because the way the Civil War system in this game, in my opinion, dumb. Like, in actual Rome, when civil wars would erupt, entire provinces would secede, or would claim that their governor is the emperor, and then he would march on Rome. But in this game, like, when the Civil War happens, it kind of just shatters the entire empire, so you'll have, like, you know, it'll look like a checkerboard of different provinces with different affiliations, and it just makes it a pain in the ass to, like, go around and reconquer all these regions, and it's unrealistic, so I really just want to get that out of the way, and then try to maintain balance once I become emperor. Okay, so, yeah, as I predicted, this is Syracuse and Carthage going the war. Syracuse obviously wants to push their Punic neighbors off the island down here. Alright, so I got this all cleared up. I'm going to take the city. Just going to auto-resolve. I don't feel like it's necessary to kind of fight those battles. You can kind of preserve your forces a little bit, but it's really not going to take long for them to regenerate. And it's boring to see like the tiny little battles, and it gets grating playing them over and over and over. So I'm just not gonna do that. But we won this battle, decisive victory without my help, so not bad. And we're gonna occupy. I always occupy. In Attila, they added the option to raise, which I love for like fighting wars, because you can just totally annihilate the enemy's territory and build a nice buffer zone of no man's land. Can't do that in this game, but you know what can you do? Alright, so I got these guys, so I can upgrade both my General Julius Lipo and my army. I'm going to give them the Formidable Fighters bonus. You also have a Skirmisher bonus here, and a Engineering bonus for sieges. I'm going to go with the most basic, in my opinion, the melee. And then Julius Lipo, I'll give him the Commander. And then also, I mean, he did good. He's defeated the Etruscan threat in northern Italy, and he's taken some territory. So I'm going to promote him. He's going to become a military tribune. Now this is going to help us in our objective of provoking a civil war as early as possible. Everything's looking good here. I can move my navy down a little bit. Get these guys training. Now, my financial situation is, you can see in the bottom right here, is kind of precarious. Don't want to spend too much money bringing in ships, but I'll spend a little bit. I'll recruit 3, as much as I can do in one turn, just so we can kind of threaten the island over here before I can actually get troops sent out there, because I'm gonna have to secure northern Italy first. Okay, as you can see, capturing this province has given our public order a major hit at -4 with dropping 22 per turn. That won't last. Yeah, as you can see here, the -20 is only for 1 turn, but the provincial instability is going to keep dropping, and people are still unhappy about taxes and slaves. So, just going to have to keep an eye on this place. Maybe I can build a... Well, I don't have enough money to really build anything right now, but just going to have to keep an eye on it. Same down here. It's really not a big deal. The public order is easy enough to maintain once you get enough money that you can build like the right buildings and get military garrisons. But in the beginning it can be a little precarious, but not going to worry about that right now. So, going to move him over here. Next turn, he can't move yet, but all in good time. I think that's good. Diplomacy. See if I can get these guys to trade with me. It's always good to have them for an ally. Very nice. Okay, so that'll bring in a little bit extra income. See, I'm not even gonna, like, I'm sure I'm gonna go to war with these people eventually, but I would like to have their money while it's still an option, so I'm gonna do that. That's good for now, though, and that turn. Looks like Athens is harassing I believe, a successor state to Alexander's Macedonian Empire. I could be wrong on that, but I do believe that's the case. I admit I'm a little rusty on my Hellenistic history. I tend to focus on classical Greece, and then as time moves on, my interest kind of shifts towards Rome, the Republic, and later Empire. Alright. Well, we can begin our march. Well, yeah, you know, there's probably not going to... As you can see down here, my guy's not in peak condition, so to speak, but I can recruit 2 of these guys this turn, wait for these guys to heal up next turn, and then begin a spring campaign into... Gonna move him up here so that he can just take this city first thing next turn. Bring 2 more troops. Alright. Gotta still keep an order on my public order situation here. It's not the best. Technology, gonna do land management now, get those 2 out of the way. Alright. Gonna open up a mine in Neapolis just to bring in a little, or sorry, Valathri, just to bring in a little bit of extra money. And it's not gonna give me a public order hit yet. The next level does, but that one doesn't. Alright, these guys are still dropping pretty fast. I'm gonna give them a little public order bonus because they're good on food now. They got 4, so I can afford to have that take a little hit in favor of public order. That's good for now. These opening turns tend to be relatively short. I mean, our sphere of influence is very small. We don't have domestic relations with a number of provinces, so with the majority of provinces, I mean, we only have our immediate neighbors. So for battles in this game, I'm going to try and keep historically accurate in terms. Obviously, the legions in this game are a little smaller than they were in real life, but I'm going to try and keep it accurate with like the kind of troops I bring and just like the way that they're set up, as much as I can at least. Obviously, the AI is not going to do the same, but you know, just for added historical accuracy. That's always been really what drew me to these games, just the historical aspect. And as we go on in the series, I'm going to focus more, especially as like more wars erupt. And obviously it's not going to be 100% true to life, so to speak, but I do intend to give quite a bit of historical context to just what's happening in the game. And you do actually get bonuses. There's bonus missions in this game where if you follow the actual course of history, you get like extra missions completed, so that's cool, and I'll try to do that as much as I can. Gonna attack Arminium, finish our conquest of northern Italy. And there we go. You can tell by looking at the Etruscan models, they're essentially Roman. They're a Latin. They're not Roman, but they're a Latin culture, as were the Romans. Gonna occupy, and voila! Northern Italy is ours. Not really much of a feat. You just take care of that initial army real. Because if you let that army that was right here that I finished in the first term, if you just let them run wild, they'll retreat over here to the east and build an army. And then when you try to go for them, they'll just kind of run away, and you'll end up chasing them all over the peninsula for for longer than you should have to. So I really just like to just kind of nip it at the bud and take care of it there. All right. I guess we could expand Roma. Give them a public forum. This is eventually going to grow into a Colosseum later on in the campaign, but not yet. Public order situation here is not great still. Going to have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully I can turn it around. It's dropping relatively quickly. Hopefully I can turn it around before a rebellion erupts. But if it does, I have people down here. I can take care of it. Same with up here, but I think I'll be able to turn around. Mostly, this public order hit is coming from Conquest. If I didn't have that Conquest, which is only for one turn, it would be even right now, so I should be okay. Okay, so there we go. There goes Northern Italy. It is now in Roman hands. The Etruscans have been pushed back to their stronghold on Alalia. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but yeah, they've been pushed over here. The Syracusans are at war with the Carthaginians. I got my people building up their forces here. I can start to sail these guys up north towards the Etruscan stronghold. Alright, I think that is gonna do it for my first video here. I'll have more coming. Didn't get too much into the a little bit, I got into the historical aspect a little bit, but this is still early. I mean, there's really not much to say beyond just the foundations of Rome and their war with the Etruscan League, but, I'll get into that more in the next video. We're still early on, and then, obviously the Punic Wars is going to be coming soon, so you can look forward to that. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for joining me for my first video. I hope I did okay. There will be more coming, so make sure you like and subscribe, UPPG, and just look for, I think I'm going to call this series Let's Talk History. This one will be called Rome 2. So look for it. Look for new entries in the future, and enjoy. Thanks for watching.